kesiye. Within 1 minute, remember quick background say company na friend Lightwave NDC war power 2016 and omo ben aban say oh Ghana I say mu use titi method Obiba hospital Oko Fred constituency Obiba hospital number 5 you see transi you can show folder you be you are 12 Obi ofi on didi na still you share folder you folder 2 o'clock doctor Beka say call lunch and I be wapon this Obiba be take over 3-4 ube wona nipa no obe free hospital na about 6 enti Lightwave the proposal be man and this about say look your technology need unique product betimi ama yama hospitals no obi ba yen go hwehwe no folder your boy unique ID pair na wahu apart from obe say unique ID ni utimi so electronic complaints na wo machine so okay ema ohwe ni wi a obeso nko lab yen throw paper odi shem na lab ni paswa ehu say we was on your malaria test ye test ni use yen fa paper manu nka say ayera do ubeko doctor no back na e wo machine ni say malaria no ye positive usa throw malaria dura yen fa paper mani pa no ko pharmacy ubedu pharmacy no na pharmacy say so Fred eyan attestinate amodakwi ana onya ko atem na e de ma Fred na okofi Fred by in 3 weeks time so oba for check up yen ka say Fred train ye ko for that room Fred no my then 02345 and o card je bope na say Fred ba ha malaria ye man amodakwi ye man ko atem about 3 weeks ago oba for check up doctor no papa Fred you are good go a save time efficiency record keeping and almost starting phase 1 at a particular cost. I'll check the cost and the NDC administration now your brother Alessek before the minister
okay
and almost networking 25 hospitals for central region. It was more or less like a pilot because that was the first opportunity and Obi the long and short is Ejumanu Koyi. They were able to connect all these hospitals. If we keep cost teaching now, if we win by now, we keep post teaching. Once you are part of the 25, you don't carry even a folder. Odu keep cost. Where you see me see on your accident and okay win by a fracture in 9 ebu. Waba and was saying ABC. And to one approach MPP abana and say okay. You share proposal. You deploy the whole Ghana. Now we propose an quote an amount. But ministry need to go PPA. PPA approved an amount of $186 million. That was in 2018. Still, no now bind your moon negotiating on the amount. Finally, no, the value for money audit of finance, Ministry of Finance. See, the project must cost $100 million, not 186. NIS signed contract with Lightwave. They were supposed to digitize the whole Ghana from Accra to Oti Fred Hall all the way to Upper West. It was the first time go on a project to link all our hospitals. Now the old money say, Obi, now your system and people are used to manual. Now where they fetch your hospitals and turn this system we buy hospital be a whole scan a whole system. Auto system so a year juma one kasa and ya ban na etuama. Number 2. Now our system na sebio enye very digitizer. And no obi malaria test ultimately test in the chain. So this system was also going to stop some leakages and all that. And no any hospital be an idea need so. I'm saying this for us to know, say they were given a 3-year contract. But in 3 years, because of various reasons, sometimes resistance on their part into logistics, COVID, yes, I need 2019 and China COVID by. For some reasons, they couldn't do it in 3 years. So we extended it twice for them. Long story short, by 2024, you free about me December no Obi. You were Ghana, there were about 4 teaching hospitals, 6 regional hospitals, 243 district and metropolitan hospitals, 2 psychiatric hospitals, 49 polyclinics, and 646 health centers when they're at the heart of your health system. By time I hand you over, I'm in this administration, this 2025. Now company where I digitize all the teaching hospitals, all the 6 regional hospitals, all the district hospitals in Ghana, all the polyclinics, all psychiatric hospitals, all speaking to each other. And only the health centers now out of 646, no more 157. And there were some 35. And no more the logistics infrastructure to but I can say or maybe about live just say almost have a network no. Oh, enti I'm passing contract now by year 2024 December. Now so now cut 489 on May. Question is say contract no on paper awie date no aka say awie nti no are we going to say ya ti omo ska adwuma no wie no omo parking car na so there was option of either to do a contract extension try or go through termination. Now Obi, with all due respect, Kasana Koye say, oh, you more 73 million out of 100 million. That's about 73%. Why have they done only 450? About half of the stuff.
Of the stuff.
Obi, the simple explanation is say all the 950 facilities no man, they don't have the same workload. The work you have to do at the health center at Fred's constituency is not the same as the work at Kolebu. Make a workloader. The number of units you are networking, the number of staff who you are putting on a system. Yeah. So you are buying money. You charge you say, "Mamun ko shasi wo health centers." Embe kacha say why 700? As 700 is small ones are. And no. Uko ni tamale ni district hospitals and cover record na ehonu munye. So we made them start from the heavy part. So although they've done
microphone. No?
Oh, sorry, Obi. Although Omoye about 450, no, it actually constitutes about 75% of the workload.
Okay. No, and the snack and
it's so in fact, my training will be say, sir, 489 now 500 it's equivalent to the work you have to do at Kolebu plus maybe a G Asa 2 teaching hospitals. Now they are done. So Obi, based on my experience at the ministry, I know that this company can finish this job, let's say, the next 6-12 months. All things be equal. All things, just say, be a quarter. Because some of these health centers, if you do a common data, meaning say, Fred, and every health facility will not have internet access. Sometimes you have to help them train and order. Obi, denting are issues about. Issues about for two main reasons. Issues about because company has been providing the FN support service. Just say system no. In fact, let me explain that every hospital have their own server. Data no wow hospital. Kolebu can do things on their own at Kolebu without needing Lightwave. But because Lightwave the kita software Ediba and all your program, say bibi sino to me handler. Through internet access, Lightwave can enter their system from a no wow and we support service. Company ni akache ministry ni say my check says or akache ministry say yes, sir. So, to me, my paperwork, BHS say we have some legitimate relationship with you through contract and contract. We cannot continue to pay over 150 workers. I ain't to me claiming payment for the work we are doing. But what I gather is that Honorable Akando is saying that look, before I go into a service level agreement on Akando, I need the source code to your software, your program. Obi, who the IT company be akasa? The amount we strong from any other company is the program they are running.
The intellectual property.
Intellectual you say, hey, now data no nyina ya ejuma Ghana dia. Bibi ani wa me minister no, bibi a me be say me hunu Lightwave di kire me. But who dia wo see emfa source code ma, e no me say me the source code ma wa. Kire say wan hwa obetimi kwa ka chem say me free ministry anko, but you can still be using my program to run your the contract
without even paying.
Without paying me. So that one respectfully I cannot do it. And I did not say okay. Say, call 1 year now in China, and the support service, you will not get it then from us. In addition, most of the hospitals will say Lightwave system, some of the services they were paying for, they can rather use Lightwave to do it. For example, Lightwave can let you connect to your bankers so that automatically, Obi a Lightwave system national, ultimately records, no one will see or say into your bank. Apart from that, NHIS, first, no more, I validated say way. Fred Insurance in Yejuma. Say the way Lightwave could use a part of their program to show, say, where a validated health insurance, where now are not part of the original contract, but there were integrations somewhere. Those integrations into because contracts now aspire minister and me forming agreement. Almost see those ones into we cannot continue to provide that service. And nothing I've the NHIS clients you see in the meantime pay because they can't validate. And to all these challenges we're having because of contractual issues. Now, maybe the say, sir, 10 million be a matter say, you see, you have to allow to buy Juma, a chair committee say 18 million. It came out not from Minister Juma Wayo. Yeah, time, every quarter, you reconciliation. It was part more or less of the arrangement. And reconciliation, I don't say, Sikaya Mamono, ya share a match to Juma Maye. As we speak, there is more job you have to do to match Scanner Yamamono. initially mo na mo di certificate buy now so ya ye ni a kire say mo di eka obi Lightwave say oh yes so integrations na no Ghana binding the car. Now so wajetum whatever we think is an extra no they will treat it as an advanced certificate. What it means that they will do future work but it will be paid for by scanner the air advance. Obi that's what happened before NDC abide by
Comment.
now the woman say honorable minister with all due respect because of the dispute about between Ononi Lightwave no I didn't call you say sebi you now Lightwave in your audience so what I learned happened is say the only time I offer Lightwave is say my audit now Mumfa source code no mami more or less I can work with you and almost they don't want to give the source code now the other drink can say audit now honorable minister so my no Lightwave say okay as part of normal process standard process when you do an audit on us you have to give us a copy so that we can respond to the findings in the
yes
honorable minister say on to me farm
in one far audit report now Lightwave
or see in fact I can say or the attorney general for advice now the Adibakwa observer I had drink can say even before advice may arrive you know another company has started Lightwave the Ejubano enti yes happen na koye na kakra say anana obi dada na odi omo yesa but I'll give only 2 recommendations obi with all due respect law no contract na e binding Lightwave to Ghana no in one of the clauses I think 28(1) and 2 I'll share that part with you and see if there's a dispute between the two parties and it is they are unable to resolve in 28 days they should get a mediation third party mediation obi una wa law fie nyansa na eka saade ni say odi obi nyansem na na mo apama mo obi fufuro nhwe mo asem it's because mutu no ebi abaku enka enye de wo so onye ebeti ba ni say Akando na enye nyama yie ebeti ba ni say Lightwave na enye ni nyama yie but say odi mi na wa apam na wo si manye ni yie ebi amisu mi njintum and yes go for a third party and a contract ni say if you don't succeed with third party mediation go for adjudication either in the national court or in the international court with all due respect these are avenues they can be objective almost find this but many friends in Rebecca say oh where this is the position but as we speak with all due respect the BIA honorable Akando is more or less or no ni position now me man doing say yeah invested 73 million according to 3 main things training infrastructure or hardware and then software say honorable Akando patch say software na nkofo na yen eno anom ni be ejuma but more or less omo kope hardware na nkofo na yen no servers ni computer eno anom yi
you see this new contract na just the software
but obi a oni might make it dangerous ukofo obi software eduko si obi hardware so a ubewuna incompatibility it can affect delivery and efficiency and performance enti enu hu kakra number 2 this 73 million about 1/3 went into training. Lightwave are training over 150,000 Ghanaian IT officers and health workers. And you go collabo more no move you be on machine so. Say all this software for you have to start the training all over again. You are going to use almost the amount of money which would have completed this program
to train
people. And obi a what now 8 years. What digitize all the big hospitals of Ghana. Our background knowledge. Our experience, our local content, I cut 20% of the work. Small hospitals. Why don't you let him finish and then get a third party, even if it's the court, to compel him? You see, a minister, man, once or can say data. There's a difference between data and source code. All the data of Ghana is sitting at the Ministry of Health first floor.
Any India.
Now, South India, dear, no, me name with all due respect, who is advising, but all the big companies or more international reputation, when they are working with you, they make sure they have backup at other jurisdictions. Because Lightwave say, how can beat me entire Ghana space? No borrow system, no more need any offshore supporter. The whole Ghana is going off. Because on this project, is a huge project worth over $100 million. As part of the condition of the contract execution, there must be third, fourth stage backup. And BT here. It's in the backup war India on the data no it doesn't mean the data is sitting in India. In fact, with all due respect, email crowd you see Oko to emails will be sent 5 years ago. How do you think you are able to get all that? It is sitting in a cloud somewhere outside our space. It is possible to say, well, maybe a Google Cloud, Ghana and Nigeria. Yeah. But it's possible even Nigeria, the end, and Ghana didn't know backup in Ethiopia. A standard practice. I mean, just all the data mobi. And to be mestre. The entire Mabemuni say, my brother Akando, with all due respect, Akonya no timini Akonya kesi. I was saying the Kasa onsheni. Who Kasa now say, oh, you have inherited a mess. You don't want a recurrent of the mess. Uye sana I say, you know, Sebi, what cassette ya? Didn't make us and sana MPP are buying by Sebi. Now hospital be a new Ghana, no, didn't who come up. We inherited 25 nations over time. It constitutes, let's say, 5% of all digitization of Ghana hospitals. Yeah, about 75 about count. Say issues be honor. You cry, discover that surplus na ye can. Also, what discover laptop, it's well and good, but engage properly in a termination clause or engage in an extension. Na bibi anko jojo. But who started Kata say it's a mess. It's this that's Sebi. Na Adiba Kusu Amiwa and Hamika Krani say. Onoba Akando creating impression say we mono omuye Sebio omuye Ghana for and Ghana na control. And ye be use Ghana yan kasa babe. Now so with all due respect, Nipa says so. Okoe Ghana Health Information Management System. On also a private company.
Yeah, a private company.
Yes, or a private company. On also did the invoice whereby a Chinese and Nita, and our parliament, and our public account. A private company. Sebi you want to no be a join. Say, hey, now we private, the private buy. Now, I say a GOB the Amobiana. And now, media the Ham Crown says, all the Ghana did 2 on. Who's a Lightwave Health Information Management. And to him say a company been here. But where the what to the Dean Ghana Health Information Management? Meanwhile, company no Dean. And yeah, say be your background knowledge. Kaka. Yeah, na yeti me won say we a company for the past 8 years. On that ministry, there be our shower. Lightwave Ejuma metima you. Sanipa ene wabeji adi no.
Omuna omaji omuye.
Yes. Na
a company the ministry knows them.
They are known in the industry. Yes, industry. Software. They are known. And I like to protect Ghanaian companies. Sebio, sa company no, I don't have a problem with them. I don't know them much. Yeah. But I know say Omo digitizes some 3 or 4 hospitals in Accra.
Okay.
So 3 or 4 hospitals, they don't talk to each other. Unlike Lightwave, they are Oko Solar Hospital, no the Fred. Sal hospital Bekasan. Yeah. We mono the omoye no ye endru 5. Sal 5 no cry
independent of each other. It is going to do
the whole Ghana.
The whole Ghana. They said Lightwaves iron is a new thing.
It's
for
a big risk because you already have someone who has done almost all your district hospitals, all your teaching hospitals, and has just about 20% of the work left to be done. You are leaving them to go for someone who has not done this on a large scale before. Someone who is now coming to start and only. There's a
then minister said Omo pilot were rich, and so far according to him, the feedback I want and they say it's a good system.
Why do you pilot when piloting was done even before MPP came to power? NDC piloted with 25, and I phase 1 and because yeah brother, your friend is saying
and
yes, I know. Who say sometimes you be an politics so I can show you, reveal to you, as my brother say. Ajima menu try say all the Lightwave be Ejuma. There were some people in our camp who say, company I was starting the NDC Ejuma there. And then I hold you when they show. It took some members of cabinet or convincing people say, if you look at the value they are offering, it's a good value. In terms of Ejuma no mabe it's my too good because it's starting NDC time. I mean, when I say, and you debia na Ejuma will be here and sana buy me by air politics. Into Obi media me can say, Obi a ordinary 8 years. Obi, with all due respect, until Honorable Akando, a minister. Now, hospital be a new what came say life if you Juma.
Yeah, na yenti.
Oh, Obi, uko kolebua, uko theater cry tablet no use. In fact, me cry the last time, for the first time, me rai, me consider me nipa bi wo female ward wo kolebu no. Me catch a nurse ni so ma me folder no na me share the omoye. I say, doc, we don't have a folder here. Me supervising system. Say me call hospital na check akra. What is the tablet? Obi, me go dream. It's a serious transformation where a nurse on duty is telling you all the information is here. We've moved far. Pilot Akando kai. It was done 8-9 years ago. Why are you going back to start something? Now the ministry kakra ni say anka sika honorable minister baba spending no baba ye ejuma na aka ne kranka e bia meka say o ye nhwe de o muso betimi aye but you are going back
to onboard
those that Lightwave, so yes,
to the new
system
450 no my dada no
eno na omokakoye obi it's not worth that journey, to be honest. Intimacy no unse we are see say uma third party share wasem na omuka say we Akando the who Kano is corrector and ma ukra some assurance say you are on the right path. All our advice on about Akando is that get a third party as a contract recommended to look at it. Now third party
honorable can be instructive and say a company in your discussions with a buying say what to me at switch off the entire system. It's a company government can no longer trust and deal with.
Obi, I have a lot of respect for Akando, but let me say with all due respect, and we the rendition of Akando who belongs to one party, which is Abai.
Yes.
When I talk, because we worked with Lightwave for 8 years, I spoke to some of their people. What they tell you is different. Almost say when you go to Chak, Mobin Fred from a Chak facility. Apparently, all Chak facilities are working fine with Lightwave. You know why? Apparently, no. Some of the people with Ghana service, I are buying strict. Who's a Chak? I saw muye. Sido private. I are buying support and some mu they are under the health missions. Some are Catholic, some are Ahmadiyya, some are Presby. Apparently, no. Lightwave for no say. Because when you take a hospital like let's say Asinfosu St. Francis Xavier, their data is on their server. If Lightwave wants to assist them in something, there must be internet connectivity. Lightwave must operate from a distance to support them in solving a problem. If they disconnect their internet connectivity, Lightwave can't enter. Apparently, no, some health facilities they were under GHS. Even Lightwave is unable to reach them. But I will not conclude by saying but what is that can I say? When you do that, according to Lightwave 4, when you cut them, after some time, when your systems go off, they can't do anything to support you. But what I say? Number 2, Lightwave 4 now manager say, audit no, hospitals no, announce as Lightwave workers. Minister task almost audit. Yes. Now audit. As we speak, we've not been told who did the audit. But when they appear in the facilities, they come like Lightwave. And the apparently no first facilities need to be fair Lightwave say incophobia ba so mo de omu yejuma anymore. So I say Nkofona more or less came to find issues with them. Now sir, Lightwave says then minister says switch off no. It is occasions a facility I said that disconnect your internet access. They are unable to reach them to provide support. That's number 1. But unlike Chak, or Chaga, almost all Chak facilities are working fine with Lightwave. So immediately you see the minister telling you, say, Obia switch off idea, and you see the company telling you it is not a switch off pay, it means that you need a third party. That's a dispute. Obi, but what I say now. They don't let one party solve the dispute. They say someone Obiabe play the power. The power minister has in this, and he say, Minister, na me minister, me na me show invoices and sana, member me crop for crowd validate. I can't make me meow. Lightwave nuswa, onusu control system, no. Onusu bet me meow. But here is the case, say, or see, and yes, was switching off by a problem. So all this can be resolved amicably. Now, Adibako Amiti minister, Emma Maria Horn say, or see data you are collecting over all these 8 years on 25 million Ghanaians. Ebisa say Ninsabeka with these new people. Or see, because the relationship has become very hostile between the two of them. One cancer obe from nobody about. Also, or call national health insurance. So claims information now Lightwave for the insurance. Or what use Nkofona Abana catches obeti me use no. They are reconstructing the data for Ghana. The actually so be on use health insurance no. Data there.
Because I know Busan is a specific question, no? And his response was say, now it's almost impossible getting the data from Lightwave. Fortunately for them, no, because amount for claims near the health insurance, they didn't data no they would only reconstruct and as extrapolate from national health insurance data. No, normally are building this new system. Your
researcher will be afraid of primary data or secondary data.
Absolutely.
Usually, they will tell you it's your data primary. Immediately you are doing extrapolations. In the process, it can deviate from the original. So all I will say is that all this long road is just a matter of two parties who are refusing to sit down. Obi, a lawyer. my minister da Obi me CEO for National Insurance. There were projects starting in this time. I halted for 8-9 years. Me to be fair contractor and he said, "Bra, what is your problem?" Contractor me because the doctor me buy how much time me say. So by no sir, me ye the upper man. Then be you try me. That's the doctor. I can't carry 10,000. Me to make 10,000. My interest is always to get the deliverables done. Obi, sometimes going strict by paper and things, it means a long dispute. I'm not saying you don't go by paper. Only say Lightwave instrument. They say no. More invoices for some of the integrations. Or more Ghana. Or more charging them. They were doing a lot of things because the relationship was there. We shouldn't spoil our relationship. And I'm not on. Let me this go on record. I'm not saying Honorable Akando should by all means continue with Lightwave. Let me make it clear. All I'm saying is that if you want to exit, let a mediator help you to exit nicely, so that all this data you can still get from there.
Get your data.
The only thing they might not give you is their source code, because that's what makes them unique from those who want to take their job. And there is a way they can modify the program such that you can get everything, but you can't read their software to use it to do other things. I think we can solve this problem. Now, me, the Honorable Akando AM Yani say, one show Kasa ye, about say engine I call hono, na you drink Ghana. Sebi, Ghana near Wako Hospital, a one salon, ye boni dimpe, quickly, on your information. A doctor all year, Juma one says, in a Juma Kotot, you know. Sika, ye time, no, ye invest into that stuff. A project. Yenya unfaso a reconciliation no normal ultimate contractor be road say on your road from Accra to Fred constituency or you know the certificate aba obetime a team of engineers omo you say doctor what you this contractor 70 million Ghana cedis but if you ejuma na why no 70 million 68 million once contractor no is still on the site you know good thing is say waje to me say me here ejuma me here 1 more kilometer.
Yes.
Linina is part of it. Oh, no contractor and secretary so me clear some bushes and no can count me certificate ba. I say when anybody brings a cost, it is vetted and you move on. You cannot have immediately jump and say that me here reconciliation me won't say me 1 million extra bedroom on into no pack will never free her. And yes you are not terminating properly. And into the after the data archive software new one ukoji. But hardware still never. I think it is quite.
But he makes the point, Enra said, there has not been a termination. What has happened at the expiry of a contract? But the contract was originally for 3 years.
Yes.
It was renewed 1 year and another 1 year. December 2024, the contract expired.
Yes.
He threw the way and tried say on your according to another agreement for maintenance and servicing. The company said because of so muntimin car in Semenya they are not interested in that particular contract. So they said they will not sign that service and maintenance agreement. No? And as minister he had to take bold decisions. And his decision was to get another person to come and do that.
Experience is very important.
Yes.
Say Ghana assigned contract with Lightwave. Now the timelines depends not only on Lightwave, but also on the hospitals that they are integrating. If one meet a timeline, not third party women who say send a new cry now call hospitals now they don't even have IT officers. Who can say because they do not pack you have not terminated on a faithful ground. But what I say. So the document only tells you of your relationship in terms of dateline. But the work that is ongoing shows that you have another relationship. If the contract says that the work should have been done by 2024, all indication shows that by 2024 we have not paid all the 100 million. They have not done all the 950. As a minister or the one who have been entrusted to do work for us, you have to sit with them to see how to exit in a way such that what has been done will not be jeopardized. And that one can be either an extension, it can be a letter showing termination. But if the termination, the content of the termination, which might involve give me your source code, give me that, the two don't agree, it means the termination process has become disputed. And that's where you need mediation so that you terminate. And you see, Honorable Akando say date now drew and to be anchored is not enough, because if there is work ongoing and you end like that, you can make even a financial loss. Imagine say Lightwave the server biako some 50 hospitals. Why server? Why more training? The Akando say obe connect to grid. Now we see date na duty free ako. What it means that server is stuck. It's a sunk cost. it cannot be utilized. What it also means is that when you come to retrieve your money, assuming you want to retrieve that as surplus money for you, Obeka tell say, oh, brah, you can verify. One to into Ashi. All I'm saying is that you have to invest time to terminate properly if you want to terminate. Nobody can say honorable Akando. A government can decide not to continue with you. But Obi, because it can come with consequences, you do it through the formal. As we speak, honorable Akando doesn't have any document showing himself was severe in relationship with Lightwave. Yeah. He's only relying on the date in the
that's
document.
Expired.
Exactly. Now the demands like the source code no he wrote a letter to Lightwave saying that give us the source code. We can't give you even the audit report. I've cited that letter. That letter is from you to them. Their position and how they are behaving, you don't have it as we speak. Since you've made a request and you don't have, it means even you are hung in the air. How do you get your answers? It's through mediation or adjudication. If you leave that option out, there might be consequences in the future. You are unable to reach them to have a relationship. An adjudication body can say that the two of you should severe relationship. But anytime there's a problem, it is incumbent on Lightwave to come and solve the problem. Failure to do so, they will get XYZ punishment. Now you are Akando, you've not secured all this because you've only based on the document date going to sleep. Now let's do the reverse. What if by the time we are severing this relation, this date Akando 31st December 2024. Yes. What if by that time Anka Oma onboarding all the hospitals and I ain't 100 million? Wouldn't say date in a dream to be uncle fee. So there are consequences in a contract that sometimes live beyond the deadline, but they are managed through sitting down and termination. Once you have a document which is a transcript of termination and it shows that both parties agreed, nobody can now come later and demand things outside the termination.
The other criticism against money say why say a year Juma Ghana IT firms beat me aye.
Yes.
Now they are come a foreign company.
Obi Mamiya clarification kakra with all due respect. The impression was made say company were foreign.
Yes.
With all due respect, this company was incorporated in 2015. It's a wholly Ghanaian company. Why mean you auntie? Mekan bibi, me man the contest. We cry me knowledge. One of the owners of the company, no, said Oyobia Oye Global, or Fiawaha, or Tina Brochinsu. Obinim say Otashian or Brochinsu, or Ti we no Munti Ghana, and to me abrofo. But any companies are said your Ghana Hanina and our owners, no be not said your Danny Fiawa crime. In terms of the records, no. With all due respect, there is no evidence say that company, Uko Registrar General, is wholly Ghanaian owned. That's number one.
Directors in
only Ghanaians. Number two, the impression was created. They say seven data in our India. One shock Indians. Lightwave works with over 150 Ghanaians. Only now Ghanaian people. And banning Bema. Lightwave workers. Omuti se mini wa IT4 a ma bin ene Lightwave Juma. Intimestre. Na onim Ghana sebi Ghana ha ye kasa. Obi wa kwhwe Lightwave contract an say ade we nkwa wo sika no so 100 million ba obi impem bebrende nipa no nhwe ni say ejuma na ye no ejuma ye ni mawa obetimi a deliver like the person is delivering. And now, with all due respect, until Lightwave brought their proposal to SEBI and this administration before we inherited, no IT company in Ghana Atimi are linking even two different hospitals and they were speaking to each other. Intimestre, sometimes Obiya, who were out to say, where they saw the Mametima, Yana mentioning a problem. Enti, Honorable Akando, I can see him preferring to take the risk of Odwemobi Amawaye na washe. Na de am kakan say anka nipa no be ye de yenye na anka eno min kashi. Ba nipa no sa sanichi. Akoye de aye do eno na sebi ha mi kakra.
But the other challenge is because a new software no mu roll out no. Yeah. If that new software does the remaining hospitals now. Yeah. Now they already 459 I hear that no and so a different software
they can't speak.
They cannot speak.
Yeah, I agree to that.
And also will be a challenge.
I agree, but my point is that the journey of finishing the last 20% of workload versus going to start from day one.
Yes.
It's a bigger risk. Number two, at least this Lightwave, they've been working nicely in all the hospitals they've digitized until this contractual issue start. What it means that you have their history. Say they have local experience and can actually do the rest of the work. For these ones, it is something you are now going to try. Also, your pilot. I don't know whether you would choose between someone who is now about to start experimenting with you or someone who you have lived with 8 years and is almost about finishing. And then finally, one point I say, who say, you're the baton mao as a minister and now a buyer. You try your best to add more to what you came to meet. Yeah, buy not digitization here Ghana for hospitals. It was about 5% or less. So 25 hospitals. We have done close to 450. Who network 450 hospitals? Who do car who drive it 13-14 hours? It's a huge job that has been done. Sebi the obe 2 and also share kwan obe koso obe dey obe wie the Akando. So all issues be na it must be tackled. Enye radio so and why say through official means like writing to the people, going before mediation and adjudication. And there are rightful places where you can get remedy if you have identified any wrong.
But I'll say before he came out to speak, a lot of Nyoma Kosu behind the scenes for the past 6-7 months. He only came out to speak when he knew, say, when you're a new company, our Jumana in a month's time. New system that is when he has decided to speak.
When you are holding a position as a minister of state, you can do a lot of unofficial things. But now we are dealing with a matter, they don't count. Issues are like to a can change the also do about to solving a problem before a third party and now through self-mediation. You get someone to write transcripts which after the meeting they will sign and you sign. All these are binding and reflect the discussions you've had. But what I say, so that if there is any stubbornness on the part of Lightwave, there is a document that shows that they've been intransigent in the discussions and it's been captured in the minutes signed by their rep and your rep. You can now tender that before a mediation body or before a court, where the court realizes that no, this is a company that wants to mess Ghana up. As we speak, Honorable Akando has no transcript to show the relationship and discussions he's had between Lightwave and the government. I'm not saying he's not talked to them. They've not been official. And I didn't know who share Lightwave for now. Kapano pay asem, who share no Akando, or blackmail me. I'm saying that he should try and use the path. I studied at Gabe and Gabe. I did the ADR, the Executive Masters. One of the things he taught us is that immediately a dispute arises where you know it can end up at official platforms, start taking transcripts. Transcript the official record of the interaction. That's what you tender. So that Akando, Honorable Akando Ba can say, almost switches no what say, share me don't share no more can say, won't try and cancel you switch off the system. It is binding. So my advice here is very simple. If you can't self-mediate, trigger a third party. Where the free business now, me recommend me papa dame. There are mediation people that there's their job. It's a whole field. They would call the two. Obewana mediation that you actually say, oh, Sena adikwa enjeshi. Munko yue di Akando. Muso munye munyama ye. Go hard. Now. Look, within 24 hours, all the hospitals I see issues where they can start working if these issues are solved. Why do you now send someone to start retraining? Kolebu and almost staff close to 6,000-7,000. Those who you need to train to manage the system will be minimum 3,000-4,000. When they've done this already under NDC or MPP, kept because then the NDC not Dr. Sarina. Now, Obi training Joe Mama time 2016. Who's have training in 2026
on the new software?
I mean, it's not worth it.
Dr. Bernardo Okoe Boye in the attending Kano 0548 443 523. That's our WhatsApp number. And to a message, I'll bet media about or question. I'll bet media about 0548 443 523. Where say Obi, what about after sales service? I worked at the Ministry of Health before. And where say Obi, with due respect, I'm surprised that you OB are falling for such lies. Even banks and flight booking all go through or franchise through India. I think you should bring the health minister to talk on this issue, please. And Enra, the health minister, was here. We had that conversation. We say, Obi, do you know that Ghana Embassy visa and passport service are housed in England and Switzerland? Honorable Akando doesn't seem to know how service work. Okay, this one says, Obi, I am a software developer and I can tell you that no software developer will give you their source code. Source codes are intellectual property. Even if they are willing to give you the source code, then be willing to pay more than 10,000% of the cost of the software. This one says that, okay. It is here. I'll say, Obi, update us on the Maths and Science quiz results between Adisadel College in Fantepem and Prempeh College. And we will keep you updated as and when we get the results. Don't worry. Mamema Honorable Fred Agbenyo Emremuna Yintion so na dwenche won semi. Honorable
Obi, me da se bebre, ma me nche wetie fo nyinara. Mother Ghana. At the same time, uti ensem ni bisa na umu baby crowd be share say dey free. Uti Eura Mintah Akando, Minister of Health. Na sem nyina yede. Say okwa magana mai. Say yede ye japade ana say your health issues. The kosher company binsa Sika can once me $100 million. Say come back connect all the hospitals in the country. Now at me I digitalize all the hospitals. Okoe na bibi at me kama the amount. According to him, we have about 950 hospitals and by the time now Honorable Okoe Boye free abaimono no about 450.
Yes.
And now I say dodo now wa yenya nyeye. Sekana ya de mom to muntu aso no out of the $100 million no. Now almost spend this cano on I spend about 77.
They're not giving them all the 100 though.
Yeah, they're not giving them. Yeah, that's what it's.
That's what I'm saying. They have paid them $77 million. Utie nsema Eura Okoe Boye atina haka na nyumre so a ne nyina so nanka enyam no so kire say or understanding of what has really transpired behind the place anka yet tu enyam yi ebetimi amboa Ghana na nyina akọ enim. I am struggling to understand why it will be difficult. Say ne ebia Honorable Okoe Boye, Minister of Health da we free abaimu Eura Mintah Akando aba on as a minister project bi ewo ho a nyama no bia mentimis me wanse bi me shada nko where I sit, and that would have been my attitude. I will invite Honorable Okoe Boye to the meeting, a meeting. Honorable Okoe Boye sa project to say then yes, I'm sure they definitely left handing over notes, but sometimes you want to go beyond the handing over notes. I don't know if some conversation has transpired between the two of them, because he come across somebody who is very knowledgeable in the subject area. Honorable Mintah come down to based on the information that is made available to him, or not so, but Ghana na ye build you or mine or mine ye na show. And say the system is supposed to benefit all of us as the people there. What would have been wrong? Say Honorable Mintah Akando ana friend saying Okoe Boye bet na say na minia juma na mo share say na pass Honorable let's wait your time na share say if you want to say still alive, it's still around. So even the three of them Muna Martina Ministry hada yeah, per se improving your healthcare delivery in Ghana. The idea to move away from the old way paper trailing into digitalized another computerized system. A good idea. Honorable Lesibefia, on our shares here, about 25 hospitals. Net is saying what do the agenda, what is the plan? Now we could do saying what is really okay. Honorable Kuba who buy trust also know what do you do then? What are the major issues?
Ajman menu craft first.
For me, say Ghana. Ni ye Ghana can't and they the number one priority agenda there. We should be able to sit down behind the scenes. And can meet up and comment who will be counted. And the four of them can sit down. Yes, I am not saying say Pampa during the investigation there is any wrongdoing. the people who engage in that wrongdoing should not be called to account for that stewardship. That is not argument I'm making. But the aspects now, I can't be my money in answer no. We shouldn't funny na enfra. What you say? Papa na ohone be bo man no. Ye hwe na papa no enkoso. Na baby a touch man no. Na enu so ye deal with. I don't know if you get the point I'm making. Ha. Because one hwe ni ya. Na dia mo kind of protocol say you told the baby and the bath and away. Ebia papa bi o wan ka ni pursue a ebe bo anyinara. Ben na boni bi we hu nti no. Na wan ko hwa akogina eno nko aso so a na wasa nyama bebre. Unfortunately me share that have you in the conversation with Honorable Akando on this particular issue to really appreciate information or no what per se. Press conference no one no and a man can be one man in details. One of the concern is that you have data any Ghana data na go pay Indian town. Of course, everybody should be concerned. But any also name say about this IT issue, people do backup. You'll be interested to know even maybe about Bank of Ghana. Even some of their data and backup another country far away from Ghana. Most institutions will do a thing like that. And I'm saying for bet me, I hacking to the internet account now. America and the rest they have their backups in other countries, Japan. So we need to find out exactly say Nienya se wo Ghana no e Ghana na. Neo se wa breaches so breach na. And there is a point that we must make. Obi, with the IT world now and then there is nothing that is really and truly private again. We are all exposed one way or the other with the IT now ban. So bet me anya bibi bet me friend say absolute secrecy as
say a secret.
Secret. Obi anti obi ani mo hwe no. Boa. Somebody was telling me recently iPhone abe. Say be we are possible your iPhone so now we are deleting. Now just we are deleting you know. Oh asan ayera. I'll say a half a ball. Yeah. Any time, any day, or bet me retrieve the number back this year. Oh, bet you say deleting you know. Asan. Anything as some of us have made a policy said me phone using a secret. Me fan call repair me fan Joby. My jada to see me that to me see. So I got two annual from Canada shame crana bearing the crowd. I'm telling you because I honor we are say edrune. What you say? Enti media minyaya anka. I think that we can handle this issue very well because utie na Okoe Boye can say I'm papa san etie dia. Now tie Honorable Akando so a. I don't think so we should be.
Then there can be an easy middle ground.
There can be an easy middle ground. Ghana benya ho fa so. Essence say ye benya problem. Because you see I can say company here the humanitarian and so my go do some people say. It is a natural human phenomenon. Say, me my idea could do baby. Me yes, originally they were given 3 years. The time was extended to 4 years. Almost could do 5 years. But share the scope of work. Still, I've no my 450. And they have a lot more to do. So can I must say just can in a and it should be possible for us to sit down. If indeed a human or more can we extend? Or can we have another company to come and partner you so that we can fast track the work? What you say? Oh, why you do software now? One no, mom use the same software because it will really be a problem to everybody and say, yeah, the near cannot command that company. Yeah, no more now. So we now the two companies cannot interact, and they can say buy
cost 90.
What you say? You can say buy. Because I don't know if what you want to achieve. They say me yarena me call Boga Hospital. Now you show me or na take me data the tour. Na me took me do Kumasi. Na bibi yemia. The hospital in Kumasi able to contact the hospital in Boga and get the information
on the system.
Especially me using unconscious. Na me to me kasa bio me to me enough information. Na bibi chire say his last hospital no. Boga government hospital. Immediately the medical staff will contact them. And to Koye we see about 450 naka.
But Fred, we system they don't even contact Boga. Just by putting your name there, it will retrieve.
What ya? And you know, mesre all the parties involved. Say Ghana can conti. Ghana ye yenti. I don't think it is too late. Say Honorable Mintah Akando will sit down with Honorable Segbefia, Honorable Jimai Menu, Honorable Okoe Boye, just at least to hear from them. Meaning so much idea. Because it will not be a bad thing to do at all. Make her along the line Even president background, the president, former president, na nyina ko si aye di nkomo mu de kra ya chi apo yenim ana mebo a Ghana na e build o man na e build enya bibia na media menya ya ye de be ye chobe bebre. If there's wrongdoing, let us isolate the wrongdoing and punish or prosecute the wrongdoing. But never bought money dear money and fine fra and then yanesa. For me, I want to plead sincerely and with the honorable minister. Say me imagine it may not be a very popular view, but that is from what I've heard from the two parties. My candid view, they say so much meet na say ebia you bet me resolve this issue. And like Okoe Boye is saying, even if Nkrofo mo ye adwuma to start with, omo contract na end by the time frame na more. To the extent that information and you need to retrieve that information, you need to still have that amicable relationship. Yeah.
Because the real worry will be granted the new software vendor is able to reconstruct the data using NHIS data. No? Still, and I asked this question to the minister, Enra. Okay, if the others are successful in the reconstruction, still, Lightwave still has our data.
Yes, and I know the better then.
And how do we stop them from probably using that data
to do something else that we yempe? Apart from that,
that's the conundrum.
Okay, you using national health insurance data.
Yeah.
Now they are reconstructing it. Yes. And say I do say me woha. Now me national health insurance subscriber.
Yes.
No intimidate national health insurance for what? How do you capture me?
Yeah, that's another challenge. And so
what I say, how do you get me on board? Eti ebe here say Lightwave no must start the complete data.
Unless they decide to update what they get from national health insurance.
Yes. And where will you get the update from?
Oh, when you visit the hospital.
But say no nyina be dane e kwan tintin. So I didn't order that. I didn't know I started all over again. And he made a point that is very, very valid. That this thing was piloted far back.
Sure.
25 hospitals.
Sure.
And he almost all the mistakes maybe are corrected. And he bedroom never ha. Now we are piloting again somewhere. Now I don't know. I'm not close to all the facts. And I'm being very careful with what I'm saying. But I just want to plead the minister. On information now, on any say possible me my advice say or engage in the processes. Lightwave for no so no or engage more properly. No I'm happy to know say even the agreement there's a place for arbitration. You know, let us explore all those other options. Say even if they are going away near one much of the Bama Nano, or much media share on Sap Pepe, now on minor continue course. Now, the major concern I have, they say also core system is not working as it's supposed to be.
For now,
it's not working. Yes. And from the minister of efforts of nothing, say, Lightwave for now, closing system is not system. This again, we can't establish with certainty. What you are saying. I didn't know almost make me taking the whole of mine for ransom. Say, and I'm saying many ministers and saying, "Be an amendment one thing, you know, my closing system." No, we have paid for the system to the extent that we have paid and you have worked for us. System in your diabium, and don't mean punish it on my money now. And I'm saying to Atabia about more resolve it. And as I said, I believe we should be able to find a way out of this particular issue. And I really want to plead the parties, Lightwave, Minister of Health, the former Minister Omoye Juma on this particular system. You know, all of them sit there in a room somewhere, have a conversation on another issue. Let's find a way.
In an hour or two,
there should be a solution. Then we proceed. I don't know the nation we are building. You know, and in
party, we've reverted to manual. No? For now, and the minister said with the onboarding of even the 450, no, 1 month to do the onboarding of the 450 and sana
450 8 years here.
Now, see again, that's what we need to be interested in. Say if almost 8 years.
Friend, before you come in, 450 only maybe I will share. Even traveling across Ghana, all the 60 regions in 4 weeks to go. You say I didn't confirm.
No. now they may not need to go round. Say, they are onboarding from the NHIS data.
No, but you know what? All these hospitals, those who are using a Lightwave, the interaction they've been having with the system, this one is different from that. So you need a whole overhaul in terms of training.
Yes, so that one I agree.
Yes, imagine training people across Ghana, all 16 regions.
That one I agree.
And like I said, although it's left with 500 facilities, the 500 health centers now, 480 something. Yes. They are equivalent to the work you have to do at
two teaching hospitals.
What it means that about 80% of Ghana has been covered by this 450.
Yeah.
Every teaching hospital.
Yeah.
Can you visit every teaching hospital and train every staff who handles to know how to use the software in 4 weeks? And yeah, easy.
Yeah, those are the practical challenges with what's going on, because now
what the analysis now
it's a new system being developed. It's some way. I mean,
but again, maybe sir, I'm not chairman. I dare not say mbuya.
When it's not broken, you don't fix it.
Why do you want to fix it?
Yeah.
If the old system is proven to show that it is working and working well, why are we developing a new one?
A new one because we've been locked out from the old system, according to the minister.
But can't we discuss and get the system open?
A dispute. Because
I don't think so.
Like the fair if it was a technical problem where the facility systems were not working, that one you have to find. But this one is a state that has no problem. You only have a contractual issue that is now affecting service delivery, because the company can say, they say the staff, for the past almost 1 year, they have no basis even to come to you for first service support. Yeah, because they are helping to maintain the system. The invoice, but say zero. So anyone can say, oh my filia, you cost to engage a staff from the way Juma. Say, take it another 12 months to complete this work. First of all, there's no contract extension, so we can't do even any further work. If anything, they'll be doing the once now.
But there's another issue. So we've overpaid.
When you have an ongoing contract, where payment is based on work done, and it is people who scrutinize documents and work, there would always be the issue of either me 1,000 or and I will say me 1,000 more. All you have to do is reconcile. They call it reconciliation. If we reconcile, to me say then it is treated as an advance certificate. That is all.
But Honorable Okoe Boye, the total amount involved $100 million.
Yes.
A human on my years of now, it's not even 50% of the.
But I've shown with all respect, when you look at the health facilities, that's when you say it's not 50%. But I've explained
that training
the workload.
The workload.
A health center's job is not equivalent to a district hospital.
I agree.
So a district hospital's work is about, let's say, 5 times that of a health center. So the ones they've left we intentionally made them leave the small ones, because all of them only constitute one Kolebu, one G. Exactly. So they can be done in a short time because workload no form. So if you want to look at workload, workload no is about 75.
Yes. But when you're taking the hospital,
nominal figures.
Yes.
I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Over nominal figures, I said, I can endorse. But the workload involved and your mind, and I say, let me just conclude and emphasize.
I'm thinking, sir,
they need to sit down. They need to have a conversation. And I want to sincerely use this platform to appeal to Honorable Akando that my candid view, and I say you sit down with the predecessors, Honorable Sebefia, Honorable Ajimamenu, Honorable Okoe Boye, they should sit down with them. Now, or understanding from their perspective what exactly they have done all these many years that has brought us here, and a company now yes, resolve the issue. If you even want to bring a new company on board, it should be a collaboration. There should be a collaboration. A human on my in the past, and waste.
Even if it will not be a collaboration, make sure you push this one out
nicely,
amicably, and make
so that in future when you need something, you can easily go back to them.
That's
not the new personnel ban. So whatever he's coming to do must be one that can correspond and communicate with the existing one. And say we are doing something all over again. Otherwise, who is going to pay for the all over again and all that. And the mestre say mestre can't me as I said I'm not close for the facts.
The minister focused more on the cost of the new software. But I get the bit Okoe Boye raises about the training on the new, which is also another huge cost, you know. The training, of course, with the infrastructure, you move used to the existing one, no? And also, no, I'm hoping, say,
there will not be a misfit.
There will not be any misfit.
But I think there's another concern they raise, say, some of the machines that were procured.
Sure. Say low quality.
There are great concerns.
Mumfa HP laptops,
so for me, if that is established to be true, these are things that you can hold people accountable for. These are things you can punish people for. Because per the contract document, yes, it's supply specific this way. Not cause supply something lower. We can cost it. We will be able to say Kwabena de buy this amount of money you have spent. If you have brought something lower, the contract say punishment there the amount so those things we should be able to resolve them and punish whoever we need to punish and move on as a nation.
Because minister made a point, said, you know, based on the Fred Akasisi and said the quality of the materials they were to supply at some point quality from again there were some hospitals Lightwave delivered equipment under the guise say CSR donation. They didn't state it clearly, say a contract and a contract in your man or air supply. They've seen all of those things from auditor.
Wait, Mema, I on a light note, Kakra.
Yes.
I say, what do we want? Obabi, Edwa conspire, say, mo per se, or no corner numbra. Na the mo usually say, or you do an in yet. Na a tre, who small be ama bet testy, Duanin said, Duanino Cosea, Sao Bana. Obeso metu or no na was wako di we here Duanin, Duanin Yakan, come on. Nipa all test Duanin on one casano okitamaki schema, the Bibia or Yiribeyano, and your papa. Unse, I don't want to go into details, but some of the people like yes, man, so Munkoche Lightwave Jumati say no. Some of them themselves were interested in Lightwave's job. Competitors. Look, a lot of things are happening. So, message my brother Akando. I heard him saying, say, instead of HP laptops, now
lower version
contract be a new year here. I bind the mobile or brand deal. It's not even done. I don't know who are advising him. Normally, you state specifications.
Yes.
RAM this, speed this.
Yes.
And one not count.
Oh, that.
But he was specific.
He mentioned HP.
Maybe the example.
Oh,
it can be.
Yeah, the example.
This example is affecting people. It will be a say, so when Crash will tell you, say, you are being in a like you appear to be in a haste to making conclusions.
But he's been in the office for some time now, and as he rightly said, and yes, sorry, about public domain. Some work has been done behind the scenes, so let's give him that benefit of the doubt. And the call of us, we can make this evening really and truly. Say, for me, is a solution to this whole issue. Say, obey share ne predecessors no. Na company no so no omet na say. If relationship na do the state amumi no ntimi na say face to face.
Then
immediate. Before I forget, there's something I observed at the minister must take our advice here and engage a third party.
Yeah.
The minister instituted an audit into the work of Lightwave. It was not done consent, and yes, to say audit on unilateral.
Yeah.
Based on the audit, from say foul source code, bra. I say what the my audit in a machine cross. I say okay. Yama finding the audit, no. Give me so that I can respond. I say me from now. But the Attorney General for advice. All these things, my minister, a public office. When you behave like that, it appears because that's how as if Obi. And never when you don't see send a name call say and talk on the so much.
It may be the chief of staff. The chief of staff may have in to fact, step that was my original thinking. Say, maybe as Drew no. Maybe the chief will need to step in. Somebody higher than get involved. Now, finding solution. It will not be out of place at all. Say, I sincerely want to believe Honorable Akando has briefed the chief of staff and I say whatever it is. And this is an issue my expectation will be so the because in cabinet cry and go and brief cabinet on what exactly he has seen per the audit. But the real practice, audit we now finance we are the person now it's now
when you are basing on same to take decisions.
You see, I've observed some things from some of the appointees in this. They are on a trend that even God who made us in the Bible, when you read history, didn't do that. You see, Jami, or come before one, or catch say, come and state. Fred, you've done an audit on a company. They've taken years to build their firm. They have a reputation to keep. You've not given them the chance to respond to what you have found. You are addressing the nation, and you are making emphatic statements about their behavior. They've not had a chance to even make a comment. And this is playing out. Finally, crowd be resolving matter now. Obiti Lightwave for free so So I'll plead with our officers. If you get something on someone, me, the only time I speak conclusive on a matter is when a third party has made a judgment. Like Mr. said Namtamakulu. The only time I spoke about this matter when I got the judgment. That's the way I behave. And court, she had the opportunity to say her side. The state said their side. Now, in public officers, Ochnebi, Fred in NDC in the wall. Now, my office, Fred, order. Oh, investigation to Fred. Fred, no send or discuss it. The Fred has not had a chance to also say his side of the story. Let's watch, because commentary we can say machines, say I come machines, the specs in them. Ebia say ukita Lightwave response. I want about say what you say auto machine way hospital way to me managing. Say more quarter 5 send 5. You don't know until someone also tells you that.
And I say be a HP brand by a machine and also the same spec as the contract.
Chief of Staff, let me quickly say that if you look at the contract, when they refer to a third party, the two parties are government and Lightwave.
Oh, sure.
Any other person attached to government can only be a facilitator to get a third party and not be the one who sits in judgment.
I'm not talking the proper mediation aspect of the contract. Because there should be a political solution as well.
All right.
And that's where the chief of staff comes in.
Absolutely.
Because ABR, with the chief of staff's intervention, we may not have to go to a mediation properly.
But Obi, I want to say, Honorable Okoe Boye can't be Ghana, sometimes it can be very difficult for us to even communicate. The PPR they are among. I mean, say the way our attitude towards this particular issue. Obi or about to say, because Ankanonya Nanka mama born na Okoe Boye na makaze na mwe disika and this kasha musamo nye juma and mwe disika. You see, but we are a growing democracy.
Yes.
Sometimes when I have a problem with MPP for say, not too long ago you were in office. In Yamana, you're admonishing people to do today. You did the same things in the past. I don't want to bring the personal politics to things like me. It doesn't help anybody. But that's what we have done. We crucify people in the media. We run people down. We call people names. Even before a court of competent jurisdiction that has a mandate to do such proclamations, a given opportunity to do it. This is what we have done to ourselves. And I dare say, whether we like it or not, in our political actors, in a multi-party democracy, there's no one political party will be in power forever and never. If there's wrongdoing, for me, I believe in accountability. I believe in people accounting for their stewardship. But we must do that properly and well. What you say, we must do that properly and well. And so, as we said, also when two elephants fight, is the ground, the grass, the surface. Where we are now, Mintah body said me and me call hospital. He make me share me in record time. Me got say after share me folder after we me call ya say call lab okudua information in our computer and also na afane take samples to the sense that you may not even know samples are yet taking our tests are here to get your doctor. Oh doctor, I take me sample and then I check here say explain to you. Say go to your by the time you get to the payment point, your information is there, you pay and you leave. Lego hospital, they have that thing long ago. And a lot of
the private
hospitals are doing the same now. And to be the mestre say or mine can't call yen nasi home back to because it is very, very painful. So Nepal Yano could do hospital. Now I got queue, now got queue now to see a home folder.
na folder ni etimi store sa na fe de ni mo nyina yema obe ko hospital bi obu si extension bi ka dan there the shame etimi yema ebi omu like
ko share baby o
na kolego etimi show 150,000 to 200,000 people in a year OPD and sometimes it's not folders no etimi sit down for new block folder block
na kolego cry fine ukoye nkra say clinics ni bia
baby
obehwe na nsu ato
na grow mode ni
na nsu akogu ho Santa be kwara ni nyina akra say hwe enura me ko eye clinic bi me ko
no dey hear one computer
me ko eye na me kita me card na me say it what do I go back home to go and pay the card na me na me so let me just walk in me ko ya so me bo me telephone number na me bo me telephone na pa onya me what is enye de e ka we na fa met na come and call back to the house and go let you know mestre honorable Akando is doing a great fantastic job. It's really doing well and this is not an issue we should waste too much time on. We are segregating issues no. If per the audit now
yes
there's evidence some wrongdoing be akoswa, let's isolate that one and let's follow the audit processes now. Nina say I audit we auditors may find his name. The audit is done against or about the particular company. Send a report to them. Take their input. Now I come with the final report. The final report. Then I come Attorney General and say, this is the final report. Yeah, Bisano. On that can I say, Attorney General now advise. Okay, based on ABCD, we can prosecute and now we can do ABC. Now we move forward. But once we are doing, because only later make an OB. I am a Yabro so say Ghana. Let me go far on my sick at the year coin. Sometimes I call you contract alone. See at the year coin. Yeah, coin dream sometimes 70%, 80%. Obeti I say there's a change in government. Oba penes okay. Yeah, or they say documents. No, nuti you manaka so no. Ya just by the time you take 1 year, 2 years to find the auditing, you can do 80-90%. Now say I could do 0. And for me, where I said, we should start even punishing people for some of these reckless decisions. Because I don't know if they could do 0 or manage can as I could 5 biomo, next have biodibium. Because where I said, it's also here auditing now, a young crater now with him, and yet a quite physical structure, and now with it. So a lot of physical structure to continue. Once you go to your documentation, and this day and age, OB, what does it take? Say, a quite now to pay a beer. Go and take videos and pictures. What I say, go and take videos and pictures of the state and once and I was starting to audit. Now a human and twasso. Now for Katava young Kimu, or be a body not punishable. But ye person punish your binti. Now a human sana can be boy in nano. Nay, just what I say. And no party na make the way I make the same way no. Yes. Minister may have all his concerns and whatever it is. Obi no bet me academic minister say money yen is money yen no person ye bia, but we must not do it at the expense of what our collective benefits. What you say where we are supposed to benefit as a people, allow us to benefit. Now ye hishimu. Not yet twasso. For me, that is what I can say about this.
Very well. If you've been waiting for lower rates and sana ebia sa personal loan wakwa akwaje anase wo vehicle and asset finance no wakwa akwaje home loan no and sana wakwa akwaje and the good news aba Stanbic Bank some fan to anim say omu rates no are dropping massively. Stanbic Bank rates into now turn those plans into reality with our lower rate personal loans, vehicle and asset finance, solar solutions. Okoye solar system will fear now company. This is the time. Home loan a dine person will turn and Stanbic Bank home loan rates number form or handy credit card. Your dream doesn't need more patience. You have to act now. Bora, Stanbic Bank branch BMO. It needs a plan, and we've got that covered. Be unstoppable. Start at stanbicbank.com.gh. stanbicbank.com.gh. Inti NA Ubora Stanbic Bank branch BMO. Charlie. Rates not dropping brutal into low na wa share nima no Mr. This is the time. Bora Stanbic Bank branch BMO neko say what we could see sense say omu rates no a drop it into wo pay won loans no ebi
I drop ya my auntie baby I drop ya go drink. Also I drop ya on country baby.
And I say we call bank kwa mbeka
na wa announce no country. He obi asend message bi.
Yes I said that.
Or say the buyer can give his specs, while the supplier can offer his specs and brand.
Yes.
If the buyer accepts the offer with specs and brand, the brand becomes part of the contract. Okoe Boye is wrong.
Okay.
What in anybody?
Okay.
You see, anything I make can say, in Yama way now, you bet me you shame.
Sure.
And because if you are my country or say iPhone brand, no I could Samsung their bar.
Yes.
You have violated the contract terms.
Of course, in terms of the
specification, you have violated it.
Sure.
And these are things that we can isolate and deal with. What I said, these are things you can isolate and deal with. And over tell you by contractor, they always will hold some money back. Say, baby, say touch man. Never that's kind of and these ones we can look at it and resolve them. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Mamin sign fan say and now dear sana yin into woo so they now obey pension day be ba je nyankopon to nsafrɛ na enne o ugiregyina ho so wutimi kwa adwuma ba kwa usika nso di imagine say obekɔ pension a wutifie a wuntimi nkwa adwuma is the one start anwen wo pension ho enne ampe bibi kakra amfa nto ho say de be ya daache bi okɔ pension a watimi di wani ato so a waso be hye and eba pension ho nkomode ya idin ba kopɛ ne wo say ba utrim SNIT Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT pension dear SNIT almost bra na start fa bibi kakra eto ho and menya wadwe say oh SNIT dey say mo amoye bosomi adwuma nko na mutua SNIT dabi we play in the informal sector uton ade wodwom wo convenience store bi wo bro no a wote so ye bodwa adwuma bi bibi a wo ye bi asika ba wonsem no unso betima contribute to SNIT inti ukwa SNIT and SNIT wo a whole informal sector omo na hwe saafo no ye taxi driver wo pamade uton ade wodwom wo ye fitani na wutie mi a unso betima start the big kakra ato ho contribute towards your pension in here SNIT nkwa na Ghana ha every year monthly pension omutua no yetum SNIT nkwa na monthly pension yetua every year yetum enti monshanenso na na woni won intimi enkonkodi juma me pacho don't become a member of the had I known club say me hu yanka ku no enye sa adachi bi you would laugh at the wrong side of your mouth be because laugh at the wrong side of your teeth. I don't know why they say that though, but take decisive action today. Get enrolled onto SNIT. Pay your contributions regularly. Relax and know that SNIT has got you covered. Or retirement party ja when Nibaji Bruce Fresh SNIT CC 0302 611 622 0302 611 622 and I say Oko social media Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at SNIT Ghana. More branches 53 Baku 53 baby also Ghana hebia there is a SNIT branch close to you. SNIT, we deliver on our promise and mama yenyina yenhyanen so na on SNIT enkodi dwuma ebeboa pa menka na ada ABC game and so no omu sika brutal. ABC game is paying big and your name could be the next winner. Just dial *262# *262#, pick any 3 letters, stick from 5 Ghana cedis and win up to 1 million Ghana cedis with daily draws at 10 a.m. and in fact 10 a.m. 5 p.m. and at 9 p.m. our Doom TV ABC game yeah daily draws miensa 10 a.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m. And what it means is you can play multiple times a day. Multiple times. And for bold players, Friday jackpot is the real deal. I'm for a brutal. Play more than 10 Ghana cedis per round to increase your winnings. Licensed by the NLA under the Caritas Lottery platform. Enti Shanenson MIA na also Trebi na edi because a man for edi pa men Canada de piarata ekosi saying so the higher sempa FM ye be sorry jumedi no so na ansa na no ma memfa enwum wei enyaw